Hey guys, it is me, Bishop J from Camp Gilgal TV. We are going to share the nature of God today. The nature of God. You know, there is this rhetoric that we do in the church most of the time. I know you know it. I know you have done it many times since you've been born again or since you've been going to a church. We say God is good, and we say all the time, and we say that is nature, the nature of God goodness. God is a good God. There is no God that is bad, and our God is a good God. He is above the reproach of we want to say if he's not good. God all the time is good, and he always think about good for his people. That what he does, the decision or the answer to your prayer or whatever you do when you go to him, he is always planning for us for good things. If you read Jeremiah 29 verse 11, he says, I have a plan for you. I have a plan for you. And you read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, you never see any bad plan that God has for his people. That's what today we're going to share. God is good, and that is in nature, is to be good, to be kind, and to be merciful. And that nature must be in all of his creatures, in all of us. We need to have a nature of good on us, and we need to share goodness. We need to share good. Right? In this time where in Europe somewhere, in Russia particularly, and especially, somebody want to just to start a war, to go into another territory, because according to him, it belongs to him, and he want just to start a war. And that is not kind of a nature of God. God is a God of goodness. Listen to this careful. In God's perfect timing, you will reap the good fruit of the good seed you have sown. You will reap the good fruit of the good seed you have sown. Now, this saying it go both ways. Even those who were sown bad things, they will also reap about it. You will reap it. It will go both ways. It is a nature. Do this example. Have your pet, your garden, or whatsoever. If you do not show love to that garden or to that pet, to anything, it will also reciprocate to you not to show you also goodness and mercy, because it will react the same way that you gave to it. That was in God's perfect timing. You will reap the good fruit of the good seed you have sown. Now, our sharing come to the text in the book of Galatians. The text in the book of Galatians, Galatians chapter 6. I will start it from verse 8. But my emphasis is on verse. My emphasis is on verse 9. But starting from verse 8 for you to arrive to grab it very well. It's saying, for verse 8 says, for he who sown to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruptions. Listen very careful. For he who sown to his flesh will of the flesh reap corruption. Now it go again. But he who sown to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. You know, there is a verse that we quote a lot as Christians. Say, I was young and I grow old, I never see a righteous man lack of, or the children of righteous men lack of. Is because you have sown the Spirit, and you can receive corruption. And it is from this world and the world to come. Because when you do good, that is a principle. It will go that it will arrive even to your own children. Your children, they will reap what you have sown. Because you are not only sowing for your own life, and you are also sowing for the life of your children and the children of your children, and for your own life, for the life to come, the everlasting life. Now, verse 9 says this, and let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. You know, sometimes some people say, I've been doing good all this time, and I'm not seeing any reward. You need to have this in your mind. When you do good, you are not doing it to expect something from the person you are doing good to come back to you. No, you are sowing something to this life and to the life to come. Because that is the nature of God. The nature of God is to carry for everyone. The Bible says, He rises the sun in the morning for the just and unjust, and He let the rain to come down for believer and unbeliever. You see that God is doing good not only for believers, He does good for all of His creatures. In the natures, human beings, He does good for all. All of us need the sun. All of us need the rain. All of the God creatures need suns and rain. Without it, there is no food on our table. Now, verse 10 says this, therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all. As we have opportunity, I love that one. As we have opportunity, that when you have been blessed, you are not being blessed for you to boast. And I want to repeat that. You are not being blessed for you to be boasting. You have been blessed for you to have the opportunity to bless the other. Do you know if somebody was praying to have $100 and you have been blessed, you can give $100 that can do nothing to your life, but you give $100 to somebody. The person is the answer to his prayer. When you are giving him, you are becoming the answer to his prayer. It's like you become a God. You have touched him. You have done good. God does not come from heaven above to come down, and heaven is not above. God does not come from heaven. Heaven is surrounding you anyway. God does not come from heaven to come into things to us, but God always around us, and He does it from our neighbors. He does it from the neighbor. He does it from the strangers. He does it from the people just passing by. That you will see kindness and goodness of God to all His people. That was therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all, not to some, to all. And then it's especially to those who are of the household of faith. Do good. You need to do good, especially also for those who are in the household of faith. That does not mean only to pastors or to leaders. Household of faith, it means all of us. Generally, household of faith, all of us, from young to old, to somebody, to nobody, do good to them. Your goodness must not only be for somebody that is well known. Your goodness must be to all of the people, even the unknown, to those you do not expect anything good to come from. And that when you do good to those people, you will reap in a God perfect timing. You will reap it. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58 say this. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58 say this. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Always abounding to the work of the Lord. The work of the Lord is to do good. And when you do good, you are abounding to the work of the Lord. You are abounding to the work of the Lord. And once you do good, and God will visit you in his God perfect timing. In God perfect timing, he will visit you. He will bless you. He will bless you in a manner you'll never know. That way, you'll never lack of anything. I'd love to read the last verse of our sharing this morning. Titus chapter 3. Titus chapter 3 verse 5 say, not by work of righteousness, which we have done, not by works of righteousness, which we have done. No, verse 8 of Titus chapter 3 verse 8. It says, this is faithful saying, and these things I want you to affirm constantly. Constantly. Paul is saying, this is faithful saying, and these things I want you to affirm constantly. That those who have believed in God should be careful to maintain good works. Those who have believed in God should be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable to man. Those who have believed in God, they need to be careful to maintain good works. This is not a negotiation here. It is a command God has given us. We need to be careful maintaining the good works of God. And we need to do that all the time. To stranger, to the known person, unknown person, we need to maintain good works. If we could do that and apply this God nature of doing good works, the world will be a better place to live for all of us. There shall not be a war, there shall not be a famine, there shall not be greedy people, but there will be happiness and joy to all of us. Because God is good. And all that he wants us to do is to do good things to each and every one of us. And in God's perfect timing, those who apply this principle will reap the goodness and the kindness of God. I love you all. This is Bishop J from Camp Gilgal TV. If you are not yet subscribed, before I move on and before I close my video, please subscribe to the Camp Gilgal TV. Subscribe and you will be knowing when I post a new video for you, and the Lord will bless you. Share the link to the other person for them to receive the good work of God and the gospel of Jesus Christ. I love you all, and the Lord love you. Keep up the good work of the Lord, because it is the right things to do. God bless you.